Have you ever asked yourself if you are truly free? Not free to choose what to eat for breakfast, not free to pick which movie to watch on the weekend, but free to decide how to live every single day of your life. Perhaps the greatest prison of our time has no walls, no bars, no guards. It hides behind the mask of normality. It is silent. It is invisible. It is called routine. It is called debt. It is called consumption. And it enslaves millions every day without them even noticing. Picture an ordinary man. He wakes up before the sun rises. Not because he wants to, but because he must. The alarm clock rings like a sentence. He rushes to get ready, swallows his coffee, boards a crowded train. At the office he spends hours on repetitive tasks, following orders, drowning under deadlines. By night, he comes home exhausted, switches on the TV, scrolls through endless distractions, pretending for a moment that tomorrow will not be the same, but it always is. At the end of the month his paycheck arrives, but it is not his. Half goes to rent. The rest evaporates into bills, taxes, debts. What remains slips through his fingers in small comforts that promise relief, but deliver nothing. He dreams of freedom, but he lives inside a routine he never chose. This is the essence of modern slavery. There are no chains of iron, only invisible chains. Bills that never end. Loans that never die. Credit that pretends to be freedom but locks you in a cage. Consumption that creates endless desires, tricking you into believing they are your own, while time slips away quietly, relentlessly. Control today is not physical. It is psychological. The system controls you with speed. You are always rushing to pay, rushing to deliver, rushing to not fall behind. The system controls you with distraction. Notifications, advertisements, endless entertainment. Noise to ensure you never hear your own thoughts. And the system controls you with fear. Fear of losing your job. Fear of being different. Fear of not fitting in. Pause for a moment. Think carefully. How many of your choices are truly yours? And how many were implanted in your mind by a society that needs you obedient, exhausted, distracted? The routine repeats like a prison cycle. Wake, work, eat, sleep, days identical to days, months identical to months, years identical to years. And then, when you look back, decades are gone. Youth is gone. Dreams abandoned. All that remains is the cold realization. Life slipped away through the cracks of repetition. This is the silent price of modern slavery. Time. The one resource you can never recover. The cruelest trick is that this prison disguises itself as normal life. They tell you this is adulthood. They tell you this is responsibility. They tell you this is the right path. But is it? Or is it simply obedience? From childhood, you are trained to become a piece of the machine. At school, you learn to follow rules. At work, you learn to endure pressure. As an adult, you learn to buy distractions to compensate for the emptiness. The promise is always the same. Work hard now and one day you'll be free, but that day never comes. Because the machine was never built to free you. It was built to keep you spinning, and with every turn of this gear, you lose what can never be replaced. Time. You waste hours in traffic, in lines, in pointless meetings. You waste years paying debts that should not exist. You waste decades believing that freedom will come tomorrow. But tomorrow never arrives. Stop. Reflect. If today were the last day of your life, would you be living or just surviving? Escaping the system does not mean abandoning everything and running into the wilderness. It means reclaiming control. It means refusing to live on autopilot. The first step is to protect your time. Be ruthless with distractions. Every minute wasted on empty noise is life being stolen. The second step is to redefine your priorities. You do not need everything. You need what is essential. You must learn to say no to the things that drain your mind and weaken your body. The third step is to cultivate discipline. Discipline is the key that unlocks the door of freedom. Without it, you are a slave to your impulses. With it, you turn time into your ally. But discipline is not comfortable. demands sacrifice. It demands pain. It demands saying no when everyone else says yes. And that is why so few achieve it. Most prefer the illusion of comfort over the pain of transformation. Most complain about the system, but continue feeding it with every small choice. And here lies another cruel truth. The system does not need to break you openly. It only needs to exhaust you slowly, to keep you busy enough to forget your own potential, to tire you out until you no longer ask questions. A tired mind is an obedient mind. An exhausted worker is easy to control, and that is why the cycle continues. The modern system is a masterpiece of control. It does not need you to love your life. It only needs you to function. It does not need you to be free. It only needs you to consume. As long as you spin inside this machine, the prison remains invisible, but unbreakable. The truth is brutal. Most people are not free. They are bound by invisible chains they call normality, routine, society. But there is a turning point. The moment you realize the chains exist only because you feed them. The moment you understand the prison has no guards, only walls inside your mind, freedom is not given. It is seized. It demands courage to say no. It demands discipline to walk alone. It demands vision to plan for the long term when everyone else chases the short term. Freedom is not comfort. It is responsibility. It is choosing silence over noise. It is choosing the essential over the urgent. It is the courage to live according to your own conscience. The system exists only because you keep spinning. The day you stop, it loses its power. The prison was never made of iron, it was always psychological. And like all psychological prisons, it lasts only as long as you believe in it. You can spend your whole life running inside this machine, or you can decide to stop. The choice is yours. It always has been. Lost time will never return, but protected time can become freedom.